on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Hello, good morning, and welcome in. Part of the never-ending road trip, for me at least. Live in Forest City at our good friends KXJK and KBFC. Appreciate them helping me on my trip to Alabama for baseball that starts tomorrow. Matt Jones in our ESPN Arkansas headquarters. I guess a little bit empty over there today.
Ooh, it's nice in here today.
Good thing you got the unit looking at you across the table at you. So I was on my drive to Forest City today, Matt. I was listening to the Morning Rush, and all I heard were our good friends C45 and C Unit together. And man, I guess it's kind of empty over there today. What's going on in the Pearson Broadcasting world for an empty headquarters building?
A staff company-wide staff meeting.
Wow, this isn't a retreat.
They were all Dixie Chick fans, wide open spaces.
Yeah.
Well, this is no, I don't. Well, we do have a few wide open spaces between our stations
now. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Well, that's a long time ago, man. Not a retreat. Too bad they couldn't go and get themselves on a little retreat. Well, I guess that does that mean we can say whatever we want today? I've actually been left by myself here at KXJK by the folks who are literally trusting me. I think they're trusting me with like the safe wherever they keep the money. In radio these days, who knows where you're going to keep the money? But it looks like they're
in the banana stand.
Exactly. They're leaving me all by myself here, with one other person who's doing some radio and you, Matt Jones. So I feel some responsibility.
Is that Fred Talley over your shoulder right there? I mean, I see the name Fred in Arkansas, and that's all. That's the best Fred I know of. Fred Talley's a G, man. He could go.
That's funny. No, because it's a Razorback. It's like a whole Razorback frame and everything. So you'd think it'd be Fred, but no, this is Fred Houston, who is an on-air personality at KXJK KBFC. I'll bet you he did a lot of screaming when Fred Talley had the Rock back in the day, though, Matt.
The only thing you can do when Fred Talley gets the Rock. I mean, he's made some of the best runs. You get McFadden, Felix Jones, Peyton Hillis, Cedric Cobbs. I mean, the list goes on and on with all the great running backs that Arkansas had. But Fred made one of the best runs in football history for the Razorbacks against LSU. 9 LSU Tigers touched him and couldn't tackle him on like a 70-yard run. Go back and watch. Like he made 9 people miss. A couple people made him miss twice. It was like a very Barry Sanders-esque.
I was going to say, is it one of those highlights that if Berman was doing it, it would be a lot of those zip.
One of the best runs I've ever seen. It was amazing.
No, there's no Fred Talley in Fred Houston's office, unfortunately. Got a lot of Cardinals stuff though. Got a lot. He is obviously a big Cardinals fan. I think they may air Cardinals games on one of the stations here. So yeah, that looks like the 1982. No, that's not 82. That's a bunch of like Hall of Fame Cardinals. Bobbleheads of Pujols, Waino and his dog Louie, Mike Shannon, and I think that's Whitey Herzog. And then who's in the car? Because, of course, when you're one of the Cardinal legends and you show up on, I forget what day it is, but they basically get to put you in one of these red Ford Mustangs, and it's Bob Gibson in the Ford Mustang. Yeah, and then the old Sportsman Park in Busch Stadium. Yep, great place for a Pirates fan to be today, my friend. And I'm reminded by Gunner from West Helena that I'm in the home of former Razorback pitcher Barrett Aston. So I remember watching Barrett pitch. That's back when I was doing some fill-in work for Chuck. But right about now, the baseball team, the coach Dave Van Horn's having a Zoom, so it should be confirmed as to Hunter Dietz, the starting pitcher, tomorrow, and then my guess is Cole Gibbler on Saturday, and then a TBA for Sunday. So, that's kind of where you start with all the baseball stuff as far as that's concerned. So you got a ghost town at the headquarters. You got a kind of a ghost town where I am right now here in this radio studio, and like we did a little bit on the Masters yesterday. Matt, you are our scoreboard keeper, right? You got to be our scorekeeper for all of our guys that we've kept
got it
here.
wrote down right here. Yes, sir.
I don't even remember the second golfer that I took. I know I've got
Colin
Patrick
Morikawa.
Reed. That's right, Colin Morikawa. Even though he's coming off of back surgery,
That means he'll have the right medicine flowing through his veins. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. How do you
there's
think Tiger Woods was doing so good? He had those candy necklaces. They're just candy of Vicodin. I mean, come on, that's how golfers go.
I don't know if it tastes good enough to wear it like that. Usually at this time of day, and I think the guys on the Morning Rush were talking about it. I think maybe Bo and Chuck were too. It's at this time of the year with the limited amount of tickets for golf fans and just for those who are interested or curious to go see one of the great real traditions. And I think when you talk about the idea of tradition, even the so-called traditional sports aren't really so traditional anymore. I think the Masters does everything they can to remain as traditional as possible. So the question is always, bucket list, do you want to go to that? And I keep thinking to myself, there are too many rules to be a patron at Augusta. For one, I still want to call them fans. And I know that's not what you're allowed to be called. Like if I was a broadcaster on CBS or ESPN or Westwood One on the radio because they carry golf on Westwood One radio, I would be fired before the tournament even started because I would never be able to program myself to call them patrons. But then again, I mean, I've programmed myself to call that big yellow pole down the right field line a fair pole, so maybe I could. I just know if Mark Calcavecchia, a major champion, Matt, can't remember the simplest of the rules or thought he could get away with breaking out his phone and gets kicked off the course, I don't want to use my bucket list thing for something where I legitimately could end up getting escorted out. Probably would happen that way.
I thought it was like a Jack White concert that when you get there, you have these little Ziploc bags that you put your phone in and you store it in a bin of some kind. I didn't think they even let you take your phone out there.
Trust
on
me,
the course.
from what I learned from kids who go to schools where they're supposed to drop their phone
They're
in
crafty.
a
They're wizards. Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case at Augusta
Well-
National, or if there's certain people that kind of slip a phone in, thinking you might get away with it. But there's prying eyes, man. Maybe that's one thing that's a little bit distraditional. Is that there are enough prying eyes and cameras on the course to see if you just break your phone out for a split second.
Snitches get stitches is what
Yes.
it sounds like. Sounds like there's a lot of tattletales there in Augusta National.
Well, there's probably just those who are tasked with the job of specifically seeing who's breaking a phone out. Because if Calcavecchia can't talk his way out of, hey, you know who I am, right? I know he didn't win the Masters, but I think he won more than one
He
major,
was a top
didn't he?
100 golfer for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm using my bucket list on that thing. I use my bucket list on the Daytona 500. There isn't a damn thing you can do to get kicked out of the Daytona 500. At least not that I'm thinking of
You
that
don't
I
have
would
to
do.
wear a shirt.
See?
Yeah.
You should go ahead and try to not wear a shirt at Augusta National.
They years ago, I don't know, a decade ago, Ricky Fowler was out there on the range doing his thing, and they were on the golf channel. You're seeing him warm up, and he had his hat on backwards. And somebody came up to him and said, "No, we don't wear backwards ball caps here." Like that's how it's a little bit different, for lack of a better word.
So then let me ask you this question, because I see just a little bit of like the highlights of Jason Kelsey at the par 3, and he's wearing the caddy outfit. But so what if Ken Griffey Jr. were showing up, because Griffey does like everything now. What if Ken Griffey Jr. were to show up as a caddy on the par 3 or whatever? It's the kid. Can't he wear his hat backwards? He's the one guy that would be allowed to do it. Probably not. Probably not.
I would be fine with it, but I'll probably never step foot on Augusta National. Never. So what's not really the haughty-taughty types. I'm more of a lowly surf. I'm more like I hang out with those people. Too little snooty for me.
Well, we'll work on the feudal system as we go throughout the show today. How's that? We'll have our Lewis Automotive Group hotline open at 877-377-6963. What would you do if you are basically given the keys to where you work and nobody's paying attention to what's going on? The difference is that in some offices, Matt, they'd be able to, just kind of have fun and throw a party and have a chili cook-off inside the offices, but nobody really knows what's happening. At a radio station, it's a little bit different because, we're kind of over 4 different radio stations here, and there are not just prying eyes on a golf course, there's ears in the corn.
Hey, we got the little Jerry Seinfeld motion detectors in here, so they're
watching.
They're all over the place. That's right.
Yeah, they're watching. Here's what we got for halftime today. We got a couple of guests. We'll have Brett Dolan coming in at 1:15 and batter up with Bubba Carpenter at 12:15. Got to kick it, and I'm assuming because I'll find out right in the next commercial break, what the pitching rotation looks like because the Zoom starts at 11 o'clock. We're 11 minutes after 11 o'clock, and so chances are we know who the pitching rotation is going to look like. These 2 weeks, basically, how we get questions, what does the team have to do in order to make a regional, and, what do you think about this or that? These next 2 weeks, I think, are going to be answering those questions. And specifically, what feels like a new formula for winning a baseball game, which I understand is just score more runs than the other team, but the formula is going to be a little different in how they go about the weekends, and hopefully it looks like it starts working this weekend. Not a matter of a winning series, but I think it's pretty damn important to win at least one of these 3 games, and you can't get swept for the remainder of the season. I think that pretty much goes without saying. All right, so let's break, and we'll take a look and see what that rotation looks like, and plenty of other things to kick around and maybe get an update from the Masters and see how good my guys are doing because I'm sick of buying tacos. Halftime will return right after this.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch.
Big old slab.
C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure. But the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
The low rider is a little higher. Low rider rides a little slower. Low rider is a little over.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
There it is. There it is. The pitching rotation has been announced, and it's exactly what you thought it was. Hunter Dietz will start tomorrow, Cole Gibbler Saturday, and then I see on Kevin Bohannon's X feed, it's one of the main phrases you'll use when you have a bullpen game, and you can't really even count on more than maybe a couple of innings. Johnny Holstaff will throw on Sunday. So this is I don't know how to put this, because I'm not sure how much of an uptick there will be offensively. It may be right now that offensively the Razorbacks are now what they're going to be. There could be a bit of an uptick from a couple of guys, but I'm not quite sure. But I do think that there's something that you can do with the pitching, and that's what they've done here. Hunter Dietz has looked every bit of a Friday starter without getting the ball on Friday, well, at least for the first game of a series until tomorrow. But now taking Gibbler out of the bullpen means somebody's got to step up in relief, because he had been the top reliever, which means Gabe Gackel's got to be what Gabe Gackel was in relief last year and the year before. And this is, sometimes, Matt, you'll say hope is not a plan. There is some hope involved in this plan. The hope is that Gabe Gackel as a reliever is just the pitcher that he's supposed to be. And Gabe Gackel as a starting pitcher is not, at least not yet. Maybe in the next iteration of his career when he's a professional pitcher, that that he'll be able to find success as a starting pitcher. I've seen that before where you had a guy that just couldn't start in college and something happens when he's a pro he just is better at it in that role.
What's the routine like though for a starting pitcher to a reliever that might pitch twice in 3 days? Isn't your routine just totally different?
Mm-hmm.
You're playing the same position, but your build up to what you do, your long toss to bullpen sessions to everything you go about your day to day. It's so maybe that's he just needs a little change. Just change because I talked about it yesterday being a creature of habit. It's like athletes are a creature of habit. So maybe he needs to change his habits, and then maybe that helps a little bit.
Well, we've seen the habit of him coming out and 2 or 3 times a week. It's been really, really good because when you're throwing as a reliever on the weekends, you throw Tuesdays too because that's your normal. That would be your normal thing, a Friday, then a Sunday, and then you can throw in a Tuesday and a couple days rest before you get back out there again on a Friday. So yeah, there is hope involved in this, but the hope is also not just a matter of we hope this guy can be a good reliever because you've seen it. You've seen it right there in front of you for the last 2 years, and there is. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I know it from what I've seen it, and you know from what you've seen it too. There is a huge difference. I mean, a mountain's worth of difference between the dominance that Gackle has shown as a reliever to kind of the opposite as a starting pitcher. And it's not that, getting knocked around or anything. You're dominant when you get swings and misses. And he got a ton of swings and misses as a reliever, and hopefully that's going to happen again. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You're still doing a specific amount of running, but there's more days of a routine between when you're pitching as a starter than as a reliever. But I also think maybe there's got to be something to be said about the process and the habit of, like getting how you get yourself in the mindset to go perform. I've pointed to this a few times before, Matt. It's like Lee Smith, who's one of the great relief pitchers of all time, was as laconic and well, lazy wouldn't be the right word, but he probably looked lazy just because he moved slowly. Dude would take a nap in the first few innings of a game.
I like it that your heart rate's low enough that you can do that. Look at Acuff. Watching Acuff play, he kind of went around the gym, and then when he got the ball in his hand, but there would be times where he'd kind of like just moseying along at his own pace. I like it.
Yeah, that's right. And you know yourself as an athlete in that case, and I think Gabe does too. But part of this is it's the kids who show they can command their stuff for longer periods of time and hold that stuff for longer periods of time. Do it for 100 pitches instead of 35 pitches. They're the ones that go higher in the draft. So there is a very good chance, and already I think Gabe's probably cost himself some money and draft stature just in the performance for the season to here. But if he gets back to where he was last season, it's just when you're doing it for 6 innings, it means more than when you're doing it for 2 or 3 innings.
How much though is it that our bats just is there something because when you play I'll go back to football and you'll see a little dissension between the sides, offense and defense. Let's say the offense can't score and the defense gets frustrated. How much is it that we've lost some hitting from last year? I mean, there's no question about it. We've lost some bats. Is that playing a mental aspect where you go out to the bump and you're like, I have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I have to, you don't feel like you have a little bit of room for error.
I think there could be some of that. If people will always point to, well, all sports are, but baseball's such a mental game, there's just a lot more time to stand out there and be stuck in your own mind. Well, then absolutely, that's got to be part of it because where's the pressure on a team? The pressure, I think, right, last year, there really wasn't pressure on a specific area of the team because they were good at it all. They had good starting pitching. You had really good relief. They were good as fielders and good at base running and could smack the ball all over the place. And they played like that. Even the way that the lineup like the number 3 hitter trusted the number 4 hitter, so on and so forth. They didn't swing out of the zone very much. So I do feel like the lack of production through the batting order puts pressure on all the hitters and is putting even more pressure on the pitching staff. And even more so, it's real pressure on the bullpen because your starting pitchers, that's where the pressure can be relieved. When your starters go out, you give us 6 good innings, 7 good innings, the pressure comes off everybody on a baseball team. But when you consistently don't get through the 4th or through the 3rd inning in a lot of cases, then the pressure's on the bullpen, and that stretches everybody out until sometimes it snaps. And, it might have snapped a couple of times already. That's why this last plan for the starting rotation is like it's the last best plan available. And I think it can work. I do hope it can work, but I'd also say we can't go by just the results of this weekend. That's one thing that Dave pointed out at the Swatters Club the other day, and there had to be layers of nuance to this answer, Matt. He was asked about how you, in your mind, are tracking progress for the team. Is it just about wins and losses, or is it about other aspects of it? And he said, well, it has to be more than just the wins and the losses, but you want to see that the steps forward sometimes carry over. He was referring to the 14 runs and all the hits that the team had at Missouri State. It didn't carry over into the Auburn weekend. What you have to see here is that you're in the Friday game and have a chance to win it because of Hunter's pitching, and that when Gabe comes out in relief, that he looks like Gabe Gackel in relief, and that somebody else in relief steps up to back up Cole Gibbler and Ethan McIlvain. And whatever happens on Sunday, that they find a way to score enough runs to at least compete against an Alabama team that has won like 17 of 18 games. So I'm not just going to go by the results. Win at least one game. But I want to see some progress for this weekend and then hopefully win a series the week after against Georgia. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And you never know. Like, I'm standing there at the Little League game. I was at my son's Little League game last night. I'm sitting next to my daughter, and she's all nervous about this baseball series, Matt, because 2 of her best friends are twins that live in Tuscaloosa. Their mom works on campus. They're huge Alabama fans. One of the son, the boy, he interns at a radio station in Tuscaloosa. He's going to be at all the games. And she so desperately wants Arkansas to win this series, and she's over here. It's just like, oh, they're going to kill us. They're just going to crush us. We don't have a chance. It's like, hold on a moment here. You never know in this sport. You never quite know.
You never know, but the automatic win is at least our basketball coach isn't named Nate Oates. Then you win. You win any argument that has to do with Alabama right now.
Maybe I'm going to take the largest piece of cardboard paper that might be here at the Forest City radio stations, and I'm going to write that out. And I'm going to make a sandwich board.
At least our coach, yeah.
At least our coach isn't Nate Oates. I'll carry that around with me all weekend long. It won't quite be hot enough to do it, I'm sure. All right, we can let's see. No, yeah, you want to join us? We got plenty of texts coming in here. Big Mike thinks maybe too many days between action for Gabe as a starter. Maybe so. Maybe that is the case. I mean, it's really just guesswork at that point, Mike. I don't think anybody knows why.
How are they on the medical charts? How are they on how, in football you have to give an injury report. Are all our guys healthy? I know and I know this, Phil, you know this. You're banged up. After you've been playing the game at this level, whatever sport it is, for 30 days, 2 months, you're banged. There's a little nicks and bruises. But how healthy are our guys? Or is that kind of a part of it too? Or
it's a little bit, I think, in terms of stability in the outfield with Damian Ruiz. It's probably at least going to be another 3 weeks before he's back. And that took some stability out of the top of the lineup and also some good outfield play, because I think corner outfield play hasn't been as good as it should be. And then, I don't think there's anybody else that's really been affected by an injury and still waiting for – it's not waiting. It's just the clock of rehab for Carson Wiggins is something you can't speed up. And even though Dave says that Swatters the other day, like he could get out there and pitch for us right now, you can't speed the rehab clock up. He has to go at a very measured, cautious pace from the injury he came back from. And it's going to be another month, I think, until he pitches. But in another month, unfortunately, there is a chance that the story of the season could be written by then. So a lot has to happen up until that point. If you get Ruiz back, and if you get Carson Wiggins, giving you more than more each week, maybe things can flip a little bit in a couple of cases, because a healthy Carson Wiggins and his kind of stuff, that's outlier stuff. A healthy Damian Ruiz with his speed, although with the knee injury, who knows what happens with that? That could be outlier stuff. And no, I have not seen Forest City Joe yet. A couple of people have texted in about it. I'll go outside in a moment, and I will scream at the top of my lungs if anybody has seen Forest City Joe. Okay? And I'll report back when I can. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Remember, Valley Family Dental. They're at the entrance to Riley Farm, providing every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman Farmer and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice working to give their patients a better life. You will leave with a better smile, be more comfortable and confident, and have a great experience every time at Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A. They're offering same-day crowns. You get $300 off a snore guard if you tell them about it. Us at ESPN Radio, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Halftime returns with a check of our own Masters scoreboard in a moment.
Hey, if you go to Arkansas, you're going to win and you're going to play in big games. Said nobody. When is the last time Arkansas football played in a big game that meant anything?
This is Halftime.
Tired of paying high box store prices for your building materials? Integrity Outlets Auction Company is having a huge public building materials auction on Saturday, April the 11th, starting at 10 a.m. Join us at 235 Homestyle Drive, Berryville, Arkansas. We're selling lumber, cabinets, appliances, flooring, windows, and much more to the highest bidder. Contractors, flippers, and homeowners, don't miss this. Visit our Facebook page at Integrity Outlets Auctions for complete details.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices, like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one Baby Shad. The original Baby Shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original Baby Shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
You're sitting at a red light or stuck in traffic, and your phone lights up. Maybe it's a text, a video call, a new post, or a quick notification you think you can check in a second. It feels harmless, but the truth is, once your eyes leave the road, you're not really driving anymore. And traffic doesn't pause just because you do. That split second of distraction can throw off everything. Your reaction time, your awareness, your ability to avoid someone else's mistake. You could damage your car, injure yourself, or hurt someone you care about. Or you could get pulled over for a reminder that your phone isn't worth the risk. So before you start driving, make it easy on yourself. Put your phone on silent. Toss it in the glove box. Set it to Do Not Disturb. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Rich Eisen here. A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt, yesterday the NCAA, well, I don't know if they released it because they got to go into, some kind of a forum, a Division I cabinet to try to vote and implement this potential sea change in college sports. But people with knowledge of the situation spoke to folks at the Associated Press about this. The NCAA is discussing a new eligibility proposal where starting at either high school graduation or turning 19, you get 5 years to complete your athletic career in college.
What about exemptions for people that go on missions?
There is a religious exemption. There is an exemption I thought I saw for military service, none for injuries. You'd get 5 years, no red shirts. And I wonder if this is still the kind of thing that can be challenged in some sort of it gets challenged in all kinds of courts depending on who's bringing the case. But this seems like kind of a starting point for the NCAA to try to put a foot down and say this is what a student athlete is now, and this is not changing. And that would be. I mean that's an open and shut case right here.
Well,
I mean,
if you get
having
hurt,
no injury red shirts, because that's where a lot of these guys with 7 or 8 year careers come in.
You change your religion and go on a mission. That's simple. Like there's still a way out of it. You just say, okay, now I'm a Christian, or now I'm a Muslim, or now I go to BYU. Whatever you want to say that makes you go on a mission. There's still a way.
I'd say the only thing with the mission is that you probably have to at least prove that you went on the mission, and you're not going to be on a team. While you're on a 2-year
when you tore your ACL, you go rehab somewhere, and they can. I'm just saying there's a way, there's a little way. I'm not saying it's right or whatever,
but there's some way around it a little.
There's a little bit of way around it.
But what do you think of the idea of 19? So that would do away with, and I don't know if maybe there'd be exceptions for this, but that would do away with the guy who had the professional football career that comes back and plays college baseball, vice versa.
I've always seen college athletes or college athletics, and I know we have a guy that's 31 on our football team, but I've always seen it as like 24 and younger. Like I've always seen it 17 to 22 years. So I'm fine with putting a cap on it at 25. Like, hey, if you're over the age 25, you can't play college sports. I think that would be legit. I've always seen college athletes as 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old. That's just kind of, but maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. But the way I was raised, it just always seemed like that's the college athlete.
No, I think that's the world we all were raised in, and And there's been, first of all, there was a massive change because of COVID and an added year of eligibility that went into that, but automatically right then and there made college sports older by at least a year.
But I think that was the right thing to do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But that's sort of one thing that changed it. The medical red shirts, that feels still like that's, I don't know, like that's are those outliers? You know, you can point to, what's the name of the tight end? Was it Oregon or was it Montana, Miami? There's guys that have played 7-8 years of college sports, but they had legitimate injuries where they weren't able to get on the field for 2 years. Do you get some sort of relief if you're a football player and your knee's been completely blown out to where you weren't able to play for 2 years? At that point, do you just get the 3 years and that's it? But that's what I'm hitting on here. But it's the age is what you're hitting on, and that's always the thing that Cal points to. It's like, you're facing 26-year-olds with 2 kids and 2 different wives, and
they got a mortgage payment.
Right, and I think we all understand college sports as though the age bracket that you put it into. Once you got to about 24, that's where
if you can legally rent a car at Rent-A-Prize, you can't play college sports. That should be a good rule of thumb. Maybe we'll make it a rule of wrist, but
I like the idea of I'm still having a little issue with the injury aspect of it, but I also like that they're trying to do something about this. There has to be something that changes, because it's like a little bit difficult, I think, to be a high school athlete and we talk so much about the 5 stars and the 4 stars and all of that. What about the kids that are having trouble finding a place that they can go play because every roster in college sports has gotten older?
Well, you got to be better at your craft then. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. There's got to be something to that. Like if you can't play D1, go play D2. There's somewhere to go.
The added year of eligibility for junior college players, is when this also has to envelop them, but that's the kind of thing that gets challenged in court. What does the NCAA have to do with junior college? Diego Pavia gets an extra year out of this.
Chambliss, did he go to JUCO? Has he got an extra
Well,
year?
that was a medical red shirt. So in this case, he wouldn't get that extra year. No, he wouldn't get it at all. In fact, I think this was his 5th year, so this would have been it for him. And but the junior college thing, that's added another year to all kinds of athletes. So, and I don't know if this would affect them at all either. I just think it's good that we're seeing something that kind of tries to address this somehow.
They're also, if you want to transfer, you need to be on track to graduate. You get 1 transfer unless your coach leaves. There's got to be this whole just being able to get in the transfer portal every 2 seconds. So we've only had 2 guys on the basketball team get in the portal. So what happens? Billy Richmond, Malik Thomas, they're probably going to put their name in the thing, try to go to the combine, then they'll get the news back and they'll come back to school. When's the portal close? If you do that, can you still get in the portal?
Right. No. So I don't know if this whole idea has anything to do with if you make your name eligible for a draft. Does that mean you're no longer eligible to play college sports? Like, that's another aspect of this. That's got to be a whole other aspect of it, and that's going to be such a small number of the athletes, but it's that's one of the real important aspects of it. Think of all the arguments that have gone on about this. If you put your name in the draft and it was 2 years ago. You put your name in the draft, you kept your name there past a certain deadline, that was it. You had no more college eligibility. Well, I don't think that's the case anymore, even though there's nothing that's actually stating this. James Najee played college basketball this year. Dude was eligible for the draft and got drafted. So as far as that means, it's fine. You can put your name in the draft and keep it there for as long as you want. This has nothing to do with that. That's something that has to do with what the NBA wants to do. Are you going to still be allowing 1 year? 19, or was it? What's the NBA rule? It's not 1 year of college. It's 1 year past your high school graduation, right?
There's a certain. You got to be either 18 or 19 or 1 year past you. It's a two-layered rule. Where in football is You have to be 3 years removed from high school. Yeah.
David says 4 guys in the portal. I think there's Joffich and there's I think there was another one of the players that didn't play. It looks like there was a report yesterday that Seeley is coming back. I think this came from Best of Arkansas Sports, that Seeley is coming back, and Semedo, who's the 7-foot French kid,
we never saw play. Yeah.
We never saw him play, and I kind of think to myself, well, what does that mean? Did he develop something?
I like that Seeley's coming back. I think he'll be our DeJuan Wagner type. He'll be the guy that necessarily won't start, but he'll be in the rotation. He's going to make a jump. You know, he didn't do anything as a freshman that I watched him play and kind of was like, oh, no, he looked like he belonged. He looked athletic enough. His eye-hand coordination looked good, looked springy. I don't know that he's a starter, but he's a guy that can be a 6th guy, 7th guy, somebody you can count on. Because we have to have some depth. You're not watching these guys get after it and then playing a game, then one day rest and play another game. You got to have 8 guys that can play. You got to have a couple other guys that can give you 10, 12, 15 minutes. You're still going to have your main dudes that are going to play 35 minutes, 32 minutes, but you got to have a couple extra guys on there.
B.A. Hogg wondered, to your point here about the transfer portal, if you limit athletes to 5 years, would that really limit the transferring? I don't know if the whole process here is also about one transfer and that's it, or if it's just the 5 years. But just look at some of the guys that even on the Arkansas roster right now, and players that you were going after but there's plenty of players that are on their 3rd team in 3 years and are about to be on their 4th team in 4 years.
You would jump at I would advise, unless you're in a situation or whatever, you would advise every single kid to get in the portal. Because you don't know what, right? Like you don't know what it's an untapped market. It's the wild, wild west. You would say get in the portal and see if somebody's going to offer you this amount of money.
I like the idea of a lot of money, that's for sure. Every year, getting just more just because you put your name in, as long as you produced something. Although sometimes there's going to be somebody at a lower level that says, look at that guy up there who's sitting here on a bench in the SEC. Maybe he could do a little bit more down here. We'll pay him a pretty penny to do it too.
Seeley could have started for Mississippi State last year. You know, Seeley could have started for some SEC schools. There's no question. DJ Wagner, you don't think that dude couldn't have started for half the SEC teams? You know, like. Yeah, so I'll always be a DJ Wagner fan.
Hey, the Brad Hendricks Law Firm, they're pure Arkansas. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm lives here, they work here, they know the court system, and they can help you in so many more ways than all the out-of-state lawyers that advertise heavily within the state of Arkansas. Brad Hendricks Law Firm has offices statewide for personal injury law, from car wrecks and big truck wrecks. They'll also help you take care of people for bankruptcy, medical malpractice, and Social Security claims. Brad Hendricks Law Firm brings tradition, reputation, and results. You can call them at 501-910-1010 for the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Back to wrap up hour number 1 of halftime after this break.
I believe they had a little guard from Little Rock. His name was Harrison, his last name, and I checked into the game, and one of the first things he said to me was, why don't you stick to football?
This is halftime.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster. And in the past decade as a roofing contractor, he knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
You've said it before. This will only take a second. Just a quick glance. A fast reply. But on the road, seconds don't wait for you. They decide everything. Who stops, who doesn't, who makes it home. So next time your phone lights up, ask yourself, is this distraction worth a ticket or even a life? Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Oh, Mississippi, she's calling my name. Catfish are jumping, that paddle wheel bumping, black water keep coming on fast, just the stream.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Okay, Matt Jones. How are our golfers
Well,
doing?
you're sitting pretty good right now, man. You got Patrick Reed at 4 under. You have Colin Morikawa. I can't say his name right. He's +1, so that's good. I mean, you top 50 in ties. I think you got to be within 10 or top 50 makes the cut.
Need these 2 to make the cut.
Bahita, my golfer, he's 2 under. Freddie Couples, everybody's golfer. He's 2 under. Xander Schauffele, I believe the unit has him 1 under. Roy McIlroy 1 under. The unit might be in the lead right now. Clay Henry's golfers yet to tee off. They got tee times this afternoon.
I heard here's Patrick Reed on coming back to PGA Tour from LIV.
When I was over there in Dubai and playing, I really just kind of was sitting back and realizing that I wanted to get back and not only join back on opportunity back on PGA Tour, but get back to the traditional way of golf and playing. And, I'm standing there in Dubai, and that Saturday, the entire range is full, and then just guys start disappearing. And then you're the last man on that tee box. And then you're walking to the tee, you're the last name announced, and you've lost the lead because someone's 500 through 8. All those just rushes and those scenarios are kind of going back into playing golf that way, where you're going out there and you're having the battles between not just yourself, but the other guys on the leaderboard. And, for me, I wanted that back. I wanted that adrenaline back.
Sounds like the experience sucked. Sounds like it sounds like it wasn't playing golf.
It's an arcade game, but they're making $100 million. I think Patrick Reed got $100 million to join Live. Quit crying. Don't cry too much about it. You chose this. Don't.
Are the buyout clauses going to kill Live Golf? Huh? So like it's supposed to hurt all the athletic departments in college sports.
I think the Live Golf Tour is going to buy the Big Ten. I think that's why they've been doing so good.
877-377-6963 if you'd like to get with us anytime on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Our second hour, we're going to start having our guests coming in here on the show. Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter. That's in about 20 minutes. Heavy in on the baseball team and the change in the pitching rotation. And maybe some guys that you can see that could start kind of clicking a little bit to get this offense going a little more. Brett Dolan joins us at 1:15 tomorrow on a Friday. Aaron Torres along with Neil Atkinson and James Teague. So a very busy day today and tomorrow on Halftime. And our guests throughout the week brought to you by our friends at Swift's Jewelry, specializing in custom jewelry and engagement rings designed to be as unique as your story. Also offering expert watch repair to keep you on time. You'll find Swift's Jewelry where they've been for all those years since 1956 on the town square right next to Hugo's on Block Avenue. Give them a look online at swiftsjewelry.com. Swift's Jewelry, celebrating life's biggest moments. We're back for hour number 2 of Halftime after this.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Fort Smith, get ready to fondue it at TGI Fridays. We're turning up the flavor with our all-new Fondue It menu. For just $3, you can upgrade your favorite Fridays classic with a warm tableside cheese pour served on a sizzling cast iron skillet. Picture this: loaded potato skins, a crispy chicken sandwich, the bacon cheeseburger, or the bold big queso energy burger, all finished with rich poblano queso fondue. Or go next level with our truffle mushroom burger, topped with smooth Alfredo fondue. TGI Fridays, Fort Smith. And here, it's always Friday.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunshine today. A high this afternoon will be into the upper 70s, mainly clear sky, mid to upper 50s overnight. Friday, we could see a few scattered showers or storms across the north. Otherwise, sunny skies and a high right around 80. Slight chance of showers or storms Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by ColorWorks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at ColorWorks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback? It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime continues. It's 12:01 on a Thursday. Batter with Bubba Carpenter coming up in about 15 minutes. I'm Phil Elson. Matt Jones, my partner. We got Christian Johnston right there in the headquarters along with Matt. Anybody walk into the building during the last hour, or is it still a ghost town?
No, we got Miss Betty's daughter here. We got Colton here.
I think Colton may have left her.
We got somebody else. There's a Tacoma parked outside, that's I guess it's a friendly. I didn't notice whose truck that was, but
It's a lot of cars that just show up outside there sometimes. You're never sure who it is.
it's a beautiful, man. I could get used to this. This is nice in here, man. It.
I always like those days where the owners of the team that I would work for might have gone off on a vacation, or maybe in the case of the team that I worked for in California, they were looking for a place to move the team. Made it a little bit difficult to do advertising sales for the team at that point.
It's quiet, it's relaxed. Cool.
Well, you know what I did when that happened, Matt? I mean, this is 26 years ago. I just stopped going in. When the two people who owned the team stopped showing up, and everybody else. Like I worked before I moved to Arkansas, I worked for this baseball team in Stockton, California, and we had all this momentum at the start of the season. These nice new, marble-walled offices downtown. We're going to build a new ballpark in Stockton and all of that. And by the end of the season, everybody's hopes and dreams had been completely crushed. The city wasn't going to do it. We'd had most of the staff found jobs elsewhere. We had a staff of 11. It was down to 2 people, and then the owner stopped showing up to work because they're looking to move the team. So what did I do? It was like, I stopped showing up. What was the point to going in at that moment? It's like, well, I'm just sitting around looking at the walls. There wasn't even anybody to talk to. Am I supposed to go do advertising sales for a team that publicly was shopping around for another place to play? I just stopped showing up.
I kind of like going into work.
I like driving into San Francisco on a Tuesday and and just making a day out of it. Maybe you could do that at some point.
You know who has the hottest girlfriends, though? I'm just sending you a C mid list right now. Golfers and baseball players. There's just 3 golfers right here. Just sent you a picture.
Who are these golfers?
That's Matthew Fitzpatrick. That's from England. That's the Swede, the tall one on the left. That's the Swede, Aberg. And then Victor Hovland from Norway.
Let me do some research.
Yeah, see if they're on the C. I'm going to send C mid list over
So is
here.
that a Norwegian lady and a Swedish girl, too, that are with them?
Golfers and baseball players have the prettiest girlfriends. Enough said right there.
Well, I mean, all I can say about the photo you sent me here is yes.
Yes. I just want to know if C mid has any of these ladies on the mid list.
What about football coaches? What about married football
well,
coaches?
they have the most underage. You got to understand how some of these mamas are. That do you think my mother would let her son go play for a guy like that? No way. And my mom's not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that I
Are you
think,
talking Vrabel, like in the pro game?
I'm talking Belichick at North Carolina. I'm
Okay.
talking Nate Oates at Alabama. I mean, you got to have a little character about yourself. You know, you're supposed to be a leader of young men. You're supposed to be teaching these kids, how to be 17, 18-year-old kids to be 22-year-old. Now, I guess it's different because you just jump in the portal every 6 months. But my time, you know, it was, hey, you're kind of molding these kids into becoming young men.
Well, I was
And now
wondering.
you're worried about the nanny. It's just so weird. You're trying to get your assistant on staff so you can go on road trips. I mean, it's the weirdest. It's the weirdest thing.
The deal with Oates to me seems like she was working there when he took the job and had already been the executive assistant to the head coach, and so you know they automatically start developing a close relationship, and obviously something else came from that. I think it's a little different than, you know. Well, I've got a side piece, and right, yeah, maybe a little bit different than that. But I wondered about the situation with Vrabel, and I mean, I guess so many people have their minds made up as to what's going on with him and Diana Rossini, and not like I've followed about all of her sound bites that she makes fun of her husband here and there and about their marriage, but there are a lot of sound bites out there where she, I don't know, seems a little bit annoyed with her husband. And now these photos, I don't know if you've seen the photos, Matt. It's like some high-dollar, adult-only resort where the two of them have been photographed at a pool together, side by side on the lounges, holding hands, giving a hug. I will say this, like Vrabel gave one of those, it looks like an ass-out hug, you know, the hug where you don't really mean it, but then they're holding hands, too.
If my partner was at the adult club hugged up with somebody, I don't think we're partners anymore. No. Like I don't know what you're talking. Like I'd be like, I don't think I can't do it anymore. I don't know what you're doing.
But then there's also like there's layers of this. Diana Rossini is an NFL insider for The Athletic and has been on, I think she was on ESPN for like 15, 20 years. She's been a go-to NFL insider. How can you be an NFL insider when there's a little more like NFL insider going on?
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
talking
what I was
about? I mean,
gonna say.
you can't do this. You can't do this.
That's hilarious, Phil.
That's what I mean. You can't do this. It's like, what sources are you talking about, and what are you getting from your source, for crying out loud? So at some point, all the truth comes out from this, and the person that ends up getting, I don't know, probably losing a career is the journalist in this case. When it comes, the two of them really have a lot of, I think, a lot of answering to do. Well, and it's independent too of, because there's two layers of ethics with
Maybe
this.
they're in an open relationship. Maybe they
There's
both.
but there's the other layer of ethics about you can't be an insider for this multi-billion-dollar that covers this multi-billion-dollar entity, and then one of the 32 people that leads one of these teams you're going to get in bed with.
Hey, it's like LeBron James. His agency has all these players. It's like, well, it's kind of a little bit weird right there. Like, yeah, this is you're being Tom Brady, same thing, being an owner of a team, then still working with Fox when you're interviewing other coaches about game plans and talk. You know, that seems a little bit odd as well.
Very odd. I mean, that again, there are layers of ethics that go along with this. So even if they would have an open marriage, it'd be like, oh, it's okay. You go do what you do, and I'll go do what I do, and it'll all be all right. The people at The Athletic expect their journalists to have some sort of independence from the people that they're covering. So it's understood sources are sources, but you don't go to bed with your sources.
Ethics. Do they teach that in school anymore?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They literally do teach ethics. In fact, I had to take those ethics. The ethics that I was learning about. It was this isn't things that you learn about. These are just situations that are placed in front of you, and you think, well, is this right or not? Here's a fine line that I have to walk every day. Chuck has to walk this every day. You know, when you are attached to the teams that you're talking about on a talk show. There are certain ways that you can and can't talk about those teams and those players. There are ways to criticize. There are certain pieces of information that you can't let out. You just can't let them out. I mean, and it's not a matter of, your job is to, disseminate all sorts of information you get from athletes and coaches and everything. Part of this is you have to always be able to get that access, and keeping the trust is the first and foremost thing. It has to be the trust first and foremost.
And sometimes trust is lost; it's not earned. Sometimes you do something and you can't get it back. So it's very important.
So she's going to end up losing the trust. You end up losing your sources. Now, I guess some of these kind of relationships can kind of be a well-kept wink, wink, nudge, nudge secret sometimes. But I just wonder if this is the kind of thing that would have been able to be swept under the rug for however long that they wanted it swept under the rug.
What do they say is undefeated?
No kidding.
Undefeated.
I thought it was the Sun. Is it the Sun the other day, you and I?
Father Time, the
yeah.
Sun.
There's one other thing that's undefeated and will remain undefeated and will also remain unsaid here on Halftime. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. This sounds a little bit like a radio show where the powers that be are, all in one room together, not listening. Brought to you by Crabtree RV Center today in Alma. They've been serving our listening audience for over 75 years and counting. Every buyer and their family get the best RV purchasing experience. They will help you choose the right RV. They feature personalized financing, top-of-the-line parts and service department where you make your purchase. That's Crabtree RV Center. Get a look online at crabtreerv.com. Or just visit them where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma. It's Crabtree RV Center, making your dreams come true. And we'll return with Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter right after this.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Second down.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure. But the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
I used to be a rolling stone, you know. It was right. You'll find an answer on the road. I used to be a heart for someone. But the times have changed. The less I say, the more my work gets done.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, I'm headed out towards Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I want to thank the folks at KXJK and KBFC in Forest City for giving me a little room here to start the drive and cut this, I wouldn't say in half, more like in quarters. And I'm thinking baseball. Maybe you're thinking baseball. We've got him on the phone. Let's do Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter.
Bubba Carpenter hits a 2-run shot there that cuts the Phillies' lead to 1.
It's time to Batter Up with Bubba, featuring Bubba Carpenter. Brought to you by Sterling Bank, local friendly banking made to fit you. Visit your local branch in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville to discover the Sterling difference.
I've not watched a complete Razorback baseball game all year because I can't get away from the radio. You and Bubba are so amazing, the way you describe the game to us. And then Bubba, with his experience actually playing on that level, can't wait to hear you in Omaha.
We just love listening to you guys, especially my wife. She just cracks up at you guys. Just your camaraderie, your back and forth. Y'all are a great team.
Hey, Bubba, good afternoon. How you doing?
Phil, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I'm on my way to Tuscaloosa. Looked at some stuff up on the Crimson Tide today, and we knew that there would be a change in the starting pitching rotation. Dave confirmed it at 11 o'clock this morning. It'll be Dietz tomorrow, Gibbler Saturday, Johnny Holstaff on Sunday. What do you think?
I like it. It was time to make a change. You know, the way we were doing it wasn't working, so I think it's good. I I think the talent's there. It's just a matter of getting everyone in the right spot. And they gave Gackle a chance to try to be a starter, and he just wasn't consistent. And so I think it was time to make this move. I think you'd have seen it last week had there not been a short week.
Yeah, I think they've pretty much hinted that, So how do you think this shakes out? You've talked quite a bit of the idea of you like how Gackle and Dietz are so different as pitchers in everything that they do, that they would be a really good 1-2 punch. It doesn't always happen that way, though, but how else do you see who follows who, I guess is what I'm asking.
I think going into Friday night, Phil, I think Dave's going to do what it takes to win. In a perfect world, Dietz goes out and shoves, and we score some runs, and we don't have to use Gackle. But if it's a close game, I could see Gackle following Dietz. And, you and I have talked about it. Dietz is throwing the ball from, let's just say, 6'8", 6'9", height, throwing downhill. Gackle's throwing from 5'2" to 5'5" foot height. Completely different shape into the zone. So, when you talk about game plan and trying to get on plane as a hitter, that's two completely different looks. So I think going from one guy to the other would be a really good combination. Now, if they have to use them, I think they will, but boy, it'd be nice if we could score some runs and Dietz could shut them down and we could save Gackle and maybe follow, Gibbler with Gackle on Saturday. But I think they're just going to kind of pick the right spot to use them, and then that's when you're going to see them. And it could even be a situation where maybe Gackle throws an inning on Friday and then possibly comes back again on Sunday.
It's 12 games into the SEC, and I wonder when do you come to the point where you're like, well, we got to have some guys flip a switch. I think that's where we feel we are right now with some of the lineup, maybe about more than half the lineup. But there is a point where you sort of settle on the idea that, well, the team is what they are. The lineup is what they're going to be. Are you there yet? Do you feel that there's room for improvement and can be improvement?
Oh, my gosh. I think there's a bunch of room for improvement. I still think the talent's there. We don't have the depth we had last year, but I think there's definitely talent there. There's some veteran guys, though, we got to get going. I was kind of nerding out earlier today, and I was going over some stats, comparing like last year's stats to this year. We only have 12 games to go off of in SEC play, but last year, if you look at last year's team, they were scoring 8.7 runs per game. We're scoring 5.4 right now. They got 10.8 hits. We're getting 7.5 hits. Kind of a big difference. But if you go from the pitching side of it, 8.2 hits per game last year, 9.9 hits per game this year. And then if you go with walks and Ks, they're not far off. I mean, we're walking one more hitter per game this year than we did last year. So, it's not a huge difference. If we could just get a couple of the veteran guys hot, those numbers would start to shake out. And I think the talent's there. It's just a matter of getting the right guys going at the right time.
If there's a guy that you really want to see get going overall, right? And it's not just a matter of SEC games. It's got to be in the midweek too, because we've seen it from him, especially in SEC games. It's Camden Kojal. He had really great numbers against SEC teams last year. It's 167 right now for Camden. And I don't know if moving over to shortstop has anything to do with it. I've loved him at shortstop, but we've seen Cam have much more success with this team at this point of the year. And to me, that's a guy that, because I've seen it, I feel like maybe that switch can flip. What do you think?
Well, I think Cam's a guy that's a leader. He's a natural-born leader, and he feels like he needs to be the guy getting it done. And I honestly think that when he gets up to the plate with runners on base, I think he's just trying to do too much. And once again, I'm not a big fan of that phrase, trying to do too much, but I really think he is. He's trying too hard to drive runs in, and so what he ends up doing is expanding the zone. What he's got to do is just be patient. Let the pitcher come to him. If he doesn't, go to first base and let the next guy behind him take care of business. But that's what I see in Cam. I mean, I think he's going to be all right, though. You're talking 12 games. He could go out and have a good weekend, and that 167 average in the SEC could be, close to 250, 300. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. I want when you say doing too much, and I know that that's one of those catchphrases that just gets thrown around a lot. Does it have to do with where the pressure is on a team to perform, and it's so heavily right now on the bullpen, and maybe on the pitching staff specifically, and maybe the top of the lineup to do some producing because you haven't seen it from the bottom of it. It's like I felt like, and I hate always comparing to last year, the pressure was so evenly divided last year, and they were good at everything. Right now, you got a team that's really not sure what it is that they're good at. They're trying to find that thing, and I feel like when you talk about trying to do too much, it's a matter of feeling pressure and maybe not trusting the rest of that lineup. You know what I mean? Like last year, they trusted that lineup. They didn't swing out of the zone. They knew there was someone else behind them that could do the job, and I wonder if that's how they feel about themselves right now.
Well, you might be onto something there, Phil, but what they've got to do is just, when we're at our best, we're taking our walks and letting the next guy get it done. I mean, it's, the key to hitting is just getting a good pitch and being on time. Go back to Camden. I see him right now swinging at like 1-0 sliders down and away. Maybe it's a strike, maybe it's not, or maybe it's that 1-0 changeup, down and away. My strike zone's 1 through 7. So 7 would be a pitcher's pitch on the outside corner. I see Cam swinging at pitches like that, where last year he would take that pitch and say, okay, it's a strike. Now it's 1-1. And you give the pitcher a chance, and he's going to screw up and make a mistake at some point. And I can't. That's what I see in a couple of guys right now. I think if we would just, like, you look at Helfrich. Helfrich's doing a great job of, if they're going to walk him, he takes his walks. But you know what? If they make a mistake in the zone, he hammers it. And that's what good hitters do. And I think we just need a few more guys in the lineup to do that. And just go up there with, I don't know if you can call it a better approach. Sometimes you can look at a guy and say, okay, well, mechanically, he's a little bit flawed right now. So he's trying to drive the ball to right center, but mechanically, that mechanic won't allow him to drive the ball to the right side because he's pulling off. But then a lot of times it just comes down to approach. It's like you guys trying to hit the ball a certain direction, but they're swinging at the wrong pitch to do it. If you're trying to pull the ball, you're swinging at balls down and away. That just doesn't work. You're going to roll over it to a double play, or vice versa. If you're looking to drive a ball, get a pitch you can drive. And hunt something up in the zone. That's what's so awesome about hitting, Phil, is every time you step to the plate, it's different. You got a different guy on the mound. There's a different situation, and you've got to be able to adapt to that situation. And if a guy's throwing you 75% sliders, you know what? Sit on a slider and freaking crush it. If a guy's bouncing sliders, hunt it up and wait for him to make a mistake, or maybe take the slider and hunt fastballs. I say it's the hardest thing to do in all of sports, but sometimes we make it harder than it really is.
Hey, we got Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter here. It's brought to you by Sterling Bank. I thought it was so cool at the Tuesday game, Maria Jose Marin chipping in the first pitch, and it was a strike too. And, Bubba, there is a connection with baseball and golf, but it's mostly pitchers. Like I've been around some teams where almost the entire pitching staff and the pitching coach would bring their golf clubs on the road trip. And I mean, they needed almost their own compartment just for their golf equipment. It was like, I thought we were a baseball team, guys, but it wasn't the position players. So I'm sure you never really golfed much during the season.
No, they wouldn't let the position players, but the pitchers, especially the starting pitchers, but pitchers in general, maybe the backup catcher. Those are the guys that got to bring the clubs on the road, and we get all pissed off about it, Phil, because we'd land and we were maybe taking vans or maybe a bus, and we got to wait for everybody to load their clubs and all that, and the position players got to get up in the morning and go do their workouts and their lifts, and the pitchers are all getting up to go play golf, and we're like, well, this really isn't fair, but. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, there were a lot of dudes that got in a lot of golfing on the road.
Are you a golfer? You and I have never really. I don't golf. I mean, it's like not like you and I would talk much about it, but it's Masters time. So.
Yeah, who's winning the Masters, Bubba?
Hey, that's a good question. I've been listening to you guys a little bit. I actually have no idea, but that is the one golf tournament every year that I like to watch. And sometimes when I'm driving in the car, I'll just put it on and listen to it. And I don't know if that means I'm getting old or what, but I just really enjoy the Masters. I always have. It just feels different this year with Mickelson and Tiger Woods not in it. It just feels different, and I don't know, but yeah, it's always fun for me. I don't know who I'm pulling for though. I don't know who I should be pulling for. Who you got, Matt?
I have Ashkay Bahita, which is he's dominating, and then I have the Spaniard John Ram. He has that Pat Bradley booty, like when he's stocked back there. He's a gangster. Phil has Patrick Reed and Morikawa, and I know I'm just butchering his last name. The unit has Rory and Xander Schauffele. Then Clay has the Swede Ludvig and a Berg and Scotty Scheffler. But the real question I got for you, Bub, is golfers and baseball players have the prettiest girlfriends. Would you agree?
I think you're onto something there, Matt. Yeah. I think there is. I've seen some golfers' wives that are pretty good looking, but then also I had a lot of teammates played with a lot of guys that had some pretty wives. So yeah, there's just something about that. I don't know what it is. With baseball, it's the whole uniform thing. I think girls like watching the guys running around in uniforms. I don't know what it is about the golfing.
Well, less concussions help, I think.
It's the word swing. You guys are swingers. They're looking for swingers. That's what it's all about.
Now we call it a Vrabel.
Bubba, I need to. So I love talking hitting with you, and it's like you even refer to yourself as a psycho when it comes to hitting. You got your little man on your shoulder. I think you really have two. You got the devil and the angel. But when you're talking hitting and baseball, you actually have a competitor that's 60 feet 6 inches away from you that is throwing a baseball, and that baseball is doing things on its way to you. What is the little man on your shoulder like for you when the ball is sitting on a tee, not moving, is just asking for you to hit it as hard as he possibly can?
Oh, he's loving that because the ball's not moving. Are you referring to golf or are you referring to baseball?
Well, you show me a baseball. You show me a pitcher that's literally going to put one on a tee for you where you ask it to be pitched.
Now you asked me the question about golf. I used to golf all the time. So I started having kids, and now you got baseball tournaments, and you got all kinds of stuff. So I don't get to golf very much anymore, but I used to love to golf. I used to actually play in a lot of the Razorback events, and they were a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, hey, Matt, I'm a great scramble partner because I'm going to hit some really good shots, but at the same time, I'm going to hit some of the worst freaking shots you've ever seen in your life. So
I love it.
He's the grip it and rip it guy.
We got to get on the golf course together. Phil and yourself and me and maybe the unit or somebody, and go do a little scramble. That'd be fun.
Oh, this is a
we need to. So I tell you what, I had a hole-in-one in spring training. A bunch of us went out to play after our workout one day in spring training. We're in Tampa, Florida. I had a hole-in-one, and I'm like, yes. And I was having a good round. Everyone was like, well, you want to go ahead and leave and go to the bar? And we're like, let's go ahead and finish. My next 3 shots, I teed up and hit them out of bounds. And I'm like, all right, let's go to the club. I'm buying.
That's the rule when you get a hole-in-one is you are buying. And Bubba, I've only had one hole-in-one, and it was on hole 16. And so I went double bogey, triple bogey to finish 17 and 18. So I feel your pain.
But they can never take that hole-in-one away from you, Matt.
That's right.
They can never take it away.
I still got the ball.
Hey, Bubba, I've got my 3 pickle juice shots from our friend that brought the pickle juice shots and your honey stinger chews for the Tuesday game. I've got my 3 with me on the road trip. We're gonna see if this tracks on the road. Okay.
Well, why don't you rub it on your nipple where you got hit by the baseball? Did you tell Matt about that?
Oh, we brought it up on the show yesterday. Yeah,
he swooned a little bit about it. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Hey, people are looking up in the booth. Phil's taking his shirt off, Matt. He showed me his nipple where he got hit, and there's like a little tiny. I mean, I don't think you call it a contusion. It was like a little red spot.
It's an abrasion. Yeah, I'm gonna go on the 7-day injured list for a nipple abrasion.
He's limping around the booth like he got shot by a bazooka.
Well, if you were there, man, I would think you would have caught the thing, and my nipple would be whole. Okay, so thanks for not being there, Bubba. I
would have jumped on the grenade for you, Phil. I would have protected you. Brett Dolan dove out of the way, though. I'm disappointed in him.
Yeah, so did Nate Thompson. What's with that? Always love these segments with you, Bubba, and looking forward to getting you back next week when the Hogs take on Georgia. So looking forward to that. And, of course, we'll talk next Thursday here in another Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter. Thanks, man.
All right. Bring us home a series win, Phil.
I'm going to try my best. Fully clothed while I'm doing it, too. Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter is brought to you by our friends at Sterling Bank. There is no place like home, and for your home team, that's Sterling Bank. They live here, they work here, they cheer from the same stands as you right here in Northwest Arkansas and also now in Central Arkansas. Sterling Bank steps up to the plate with personal service, local decisions, and a commitment that lasts longer than a season. They're not just your bankers, they're your neighbors, your friends, and they're part of the team that helps families, small business, and neighborhoods grow and thrive. Buying your first home, growing a small business, or maybe just planning for what's next, Sterling Bank is there to help you round the bases towards your goals. They're in Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville, and Little Rock. Also online at stirbank.bank. Sterling Bank, proud to be your community bank season after season. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, and halftime is back right after this.
Acuff goes to work, drives underneath to the rim, gets it to go. Acuff rattled it home.
This is halftime.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief, now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. Again, that's 800-433-8909.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Spring is here, and at WT Equipment, we're doing some spring cleaning of our Hustler zero-turn inventory. That means serious savings with 0% financing for 42 months on new Hustler zero-turn mowers. If your grass is growing, it's time to upgrade your cut with speed, precision, and durability of a Hustler. Come see us today at WT Equipment in Springdale or visit WTEquip.com and take advantage of these limited-time spring deals. Hustler, cut better, cut faster.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief, now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. Again, that's 800-433-8909.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
If you run a commercial trades business, you're constantly monitoring your cash flow and profitability. You're working hard to manage complex projects and accounts, all while generating new business. But your outdated software just isn't cutting it. If that's the case, it's time to upgrade to Service Titan, the all-in-one solution built for long-term growth. Find out how the most successful specialty contractors are fueling their business today. Visit ServiceTitan.com to learn more. That's ServiceTitan.com.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find him at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
See you right across the floor. I like to do it till you holler for more. I like to reggae, but you can't fast for me. I like to make my thing. You can make me scream. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Enjoy the music you hear on Halftime? Of course you do. Our Halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Bath Makeover of Arkansas, 1-800-NEW-BATH. Call today. Bath Makeover of Arkansas, 1-800-NEW-BATH. Now let's get back to Halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Oh, Matt Jones, you're hitting me in my feels with some of these songs here that you play, and I'm sensing a theme. And since I got another 4 hours on the drive to Tuscaloosa once we're done with halftime today, I feel like I may be listening to some 1975 music at some point. Then there's another group that you sent me earlier today, which I think I've got to get into. What is this group? Sandoz Labs?
They're kind of a hippie or an indie group. I guess that would be the right word for it. Yeah, it's 4 non-blondes. And
very non-blonde.
They're probably all on C-Mid's list, but they kind of groovy. Like they definitely have their own vibe, chill, just kind of, like elevator music, coffee house music. It's just kind of. Like,
I'll be looking for a vibe as I'm headed, because
Yeah.
you know where I'm driving through in order to get to Alabama, our favorite state,
Oof.
Mississippi. I'm going to need a vibe to get through Mississippi.
Fair enough.
Maybe I'll just give Charlie a call since he's on a
He's
Lewis
vibe.
Automotive Group. What happened there? Oh my gosh!
Got off the line.
I think that means Charlie might be in the ditch. He made a phone call. He stayed on the line for a commercial break, and then something happened. Makes me a little bit nervous. He's banned, yeah. The guy that we can guarantee calls the show every single day. It just means he'll call back at some point soon. It just means he was ordering lunch at that moment.
Or the aliens got him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you can replace Charlie if you want. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
1975, Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody came out, and then C Unit's favorite band, Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti came out. So maybe there's another 75 groove. This is a whole vibe right there if you're into it.
Physical Graffiti is a vibe in and of itself, and that vibe starts with Kashmir, man. That's
one of their Mount Rushmores.
Is that the album that Trampled Underfoot is on too? That's one that's a good driving. That's good driving music right there.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just like make sure
They're
you
all
get two
pop
hints.
hits. They're all 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Just pop hits. Yeah.
I can do my best Casey Kasem imitation. Introduce those songs to myself. I won't do it here on the show. Nobody needs to hear that. Gunner, I don't know. I'm not really going through West Helena. I'm going to go through Memphis. I could go through West Helena, but it would add another 10 minutes to the drive. Do I want those 10 minutes back on my life? So that's the question I got to ask myself here. He's from West Helena. Gunner, give me a good reason to drive through. Now, he calls it West Helena. I guess you don't want to be associated with just the Helena aspect of Helena, West Helena anymore. It's still the double name, isn't it? That's right. Chris has never heard the song Kashmir. Otherwise, it gets played 3 times a day on this very radio station to introduce the show. Did you know that, Unit? I shouldn't have told him that. It should have been the homework, man. Listen to Physical Graffiti and tell me the song that you automatically recognize.
It still might work. You could still maybe put that in. Just wait till next segment and then just bring it. Then maybe.
That's a good point because.
Maybe in an
Unit, tell me who are the 4 Beatles? We haven't played any of the Beatles songs.
Freddie Couples.
They weren't around. Bryson DeChambeau, Jack Nicklaus.
Tommy Fleetwood.
I shouldn't put DeChambeau on the level of Nicklaus.
Hey, Jack won. So that's part of the theme. 1975. You know who won the Masters in 1975?
No, really, Nicklaus.
That's part of.
Did you do that on purpose?
What do they say about a broke clock? It's right 2 times a day.
John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, George Harrison.
He's way too fast. He's
I have to
reading
do it fast or I'll forget.
He was reading that.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Well, he got that. I was going to ask you if you'd ever heard of Stevie Wonder since you played the Boogie on Reggae Woman song. He has heard of Stevie Wonder. Is he mid? Don't answer that. He told us Uma Thurman was mid yesterday, and I was ready to end the segment before it even started. Just go ahead and crush my childhood while you're at it, please. That'll be so. Have we figured out what we're going to do for him for halftime homework? Is it going to be? He's listened to Led Zeppelin before,
I think
hasn't
he? Had a Led Zeppelin weekend.
Yeah.
I think we did a. Did we do We did a Beatles weekend. Maybe we need to go back music instead of movies. We've been doing a lot of movies. He didn't make it through the last movie. He might win.
So there's got to be the great albums from 1975 that would be worth.
Bohemian Rhapsody. If he doesn't know who Queen at Freddie Mercury, that would be okay.
Rolling Stone has a whole list of 75 albums here from 1975 that would be worth at least sending them into.
I know
Paul
who they
Simon.
are. I just don't know anything about them.
Here's Steely Dan, Katie Lied. That's a great album. We've had you listen to Steely Dan before.
Whatever album Elton John came out with in 1975, I celebrate that catalog.
That's the Philadelphia Freedom song. You already played that, right?
Yep.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, 1975. Man, that might be worth it. That's the way of the world. That'd be worth some of your time. Heck, that'd be worth the rest of my drive, to be quite honest. What they say the number one album of 1975 was. Oh, number 3 is Mothership Connection by Parliament. Have you ever listened to Parliament or Parliament Funkadelic Unit?
No.
Oh.
Have you ever smoked a Parliament?
Yes.
Well, then you need to listen to Parliament.
Yes.
At the same time as
Yeah,
while you
that
smoke
was
one.
quick, yeah.
Though I'm not advocating smoking cigarettes at all. They said Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks is the number one album of 75 according to Rolling Stone. But I'm here to tell you, you're going to be listening to Parliament Mothership Connection. And you're going to notice because you listen to some rap in the 90s, Unit. You've listened to Dre and Snoop Dogg and stuff like that, right? Good. Yeah. Okay. You'll notice some things that you pick up on listening to that album specifically. I don't think you've ever heard anything like this before. Do you ever hear George Clinton? Not Bill Clinton.
Okay.
It's not his brother. George Clinton was the man behind Parliament. I swear to God, you've never heard anything like this. They almost make themselves out to be funky aliens. You listen to much Parliament, Matt, ever before?
No, George Clinton. I saw him at a at a tennis tournament in Bradenton one time. It was pretty cool to see because he was still dressed up.
You had to get out of the way of his hair, didn't you?
He was a gangster.
I think you need to listen to Parliament, and I'll do the same on my drive since I've got 4 hours, and I'm not going to listen to Kashmir because I've listened to that, and Physical Graffiti. I've listened to that one enough. We'll listen to that together at the same time, report back, and I think we'll all be happy with it. I won't smoke a Parliament, though. You, since you're not doing that anymore, you can just pop in one of those little nicotine packs that you like so much. Yeah. Atomic Dog. Yeah, Joe, that's right. He doesn't even know what's about to hit him. He literally has no idea what's about to hit him. 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tell you about Roback.com a lot. I threw one of my Roback shirts in my luggage for the baseball series this weekend. It's a Baum Walker shirt, little Baum Walkers all over the shirt. You'll find it at Roback.com, part of the University of Arkansas Game Day collection, and things you won't find anywhere else. Perfect for Razorback fans. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK. If you use the code RUSH26 at checkout, 20% off your first order at Roback, where action meets comfort. And we'll wrap up our second hour of halftime right after this.
We did what we do. This is halftime.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beef potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Spring projects are right around the corner, so now's the time to fix it before it starts. At Sharp Equipment, they help you get your machines ready for a busy season ahead. Don't wait until breakdowns slow you down. From equipment repairs and service to parts, rentals, and custom hoses, their team keeps your equipment running strong all season long. Visit them at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren or call 479-649-0500 to get spring project ready. Sharp Equipment, where strong jobs start with reliable equipment.
Smalls here. Did you know there are many ways to do your taxes with H&R Block? You can go to a local office and get expert help in person, or you can choose virtual tax prep and get expert help without leaving home. Or you can even do them yourself online with live human help standing by. Whatever you choose, you can file with confidence, having H&R Block's 70+ years of tax expertise in your corner. Switch today and file your way at hrblock.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
I needed to ask you this, Matt. What you might think of a quarterback coach who is separating recruits with this question specifically.
Like, I ask them a question like this all the time. Hey, do you like chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? Okay, the minute a kid pauses, I don't really want that kid, right? Because you need to have some type of conviction, right, wrong, or indifferent. Okay, so whether you like chocolate or you like vanilla, I don't really care. But if you sit there and say, coach, I don't know. Is it melted? Is it not? What's the brand? So on and so forth. Like, what is this kid going to do on third down in front of 110,000? He's probably going to think about it more than he should. He's not going to have conviction, right? So it's, like I just said, long-winded, I understand, but it's the mental aspect is really what we're after.
That's Oregon quarterback coach Koa Kaiai. I don't know how to say his name properly. I think he's from Hawaii. What do you think of what he's saying here?
I had that conversation with Ronnie Brewer. He was a freshman on the basketball team, and I was a junior that year, and we were sitting down. I said, somebody was talking. They go vanilla or chocolate, and me and Brewer both said strawberry at the same time. So I don't know. I don't know. It's like it was like, what do you – now I would be vanilla ice cream, but when I was 19, 20, whatever, it was so funny because he's like strawberry. We both said strawberry.
Well, how do you think that answer is taken? If you're giving two options, but you answer with a third, what is that? What do you think that says?
That means I'm a G. That's right. It's like you better watch out. I get the concept of that, saying, say chocolate, vanilla. When you're getting ready for the combine and you're doing a lot of different. You're meeting with there's a lot of questions like that aren't necessarily football related, but they just want to get your act. They'll what's it called, a neggy? They'll say something negative about you just to see how you react. Like, so that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. You want to sit down and look a man in the eyes and see if he's right for your program, what type of there's all that stuff. So that's normal. That's normal stuff. That that's just that's normal stuff.
I would never be able to be a quarterback too, probably because I don't have the arm strength and I'm not big enough and I'm not fast enough and I don't understand football enough. But I would hem and I would haw over chocolate and vanilla. I mean, it really does depend on what you might have had for dinner and if you're putting it with a Coke or something, or I don't know. I'm not meant to be a quarterback, man. I'm just meant to talk around a topic and get to it at some point.
Strawberry fields forever.
I don't have enough time to ask him who the Beatles are again. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We're going to have Brett Dolan in about 20 minutes, and halftime returns after this break.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans backed by the team J.D. Power, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among auto insurers in the Central Region 7 of the last 8 years.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Evan Cohen here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunshine today. A high this afternoon will be into the upper 70s, mainly a clear sky, mid to upper 50s overnight. Friday, we could see a few scattered showers or storms across the north. Otherwise, sunny skies and a high right around 80. Slight chance of showers or storms Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name one Razorback. Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back on Halftime. It's hour number 3. Phil Elson live in Forest City at KBFC KXJK Radio. Appreciate the folks. They've been so nice for the last, it's been 4 years. Been coming here to do the show on drives out to Oxford or to Tuscaloosa. And Matt Jones is in the ESPN Arkansas headquarters along with the one and only unit, Christian Johnston. I guess you guys on the Morning Rush were going over your nicknames a little bit here. Does anyone else call him Unit, or is it just us, Matt? I think we're the only ones.
It's a halftime nickname.
Okay, there you go. A halftime only nickname. So you got a few baseball games in action. Marlins and Reds, 5-1. Miami in the 6th. A's and Yankees, second inning, no score. Tigers, Twins, no score. We didn't get into the big brawl with the Braves and the Angels the other day, Matt. This was a real. I mean, so many of the baseball quote-unquote fights are just guys running out of a dugout, grabbing other players by the collar and sort of shaking them around a little bit. Did you see this fight?
I did. I saw him land with the baseball punch.
So I guess behind it all is that Reynaldo Lopez cannot get Jorge Soler out. Soler is 14 for 23 against Lopez in his career with 5 home runs and 3 doubles. So, I mean, he's hitting over 500 against him, and he's literally crushing the ball whenever he goes up there. So then Lopez throws a pitch that, I don't know, was it behind Soler or close enough, and the two of them just stare at each other. And then Soler comes out and attacks him, and Lopez, I've never seen this before, was punching Soler with the baseball. He didn't drop the ball. He didn't throw the ball at him. He was punching with the baseball. And then Matt Jones, there's this.
Instigators. Sometimes in these fights, you see multiple fights break out. Well, somebody lands a punch. Walt Weiss, the manager with the tackle.
Walt Weiss, the manager of the Braves, tackled Jorge Soler on the field so he wouldn't throw any more punches. Walt Weiss was the Rookie of the Year
in the 80s, right?
In 1988 for the Oakland Athletics. Mm-hmm. He's one of those guys that was listed at 6 feet, but if he was playing today, he'd be more like 5'9" because of the measurements and the automatic ball strike. He's probably not 6 feet. He's 175 pounds, and he's 63 years old. He's 29 years older than the 6'3", 235-pound Soler, Matt, and it was a legitimate form tackle. He looked like a safety taking out a tight end over the middle. I mean, he gets his head out of the way, drives his shoulders into the middle of Soler's body, and takes him down. It was a thing of beauty for a guy that's a shortstop. Here is Weiss's comments after the game.
Tackle, Jorge? Yeah, I mean that. I love Soler. We were teammates here, but that's a big man, and so I just felt I got to get him off his feet because he's going to hurt somebody. And so that was that was my instinct, just to get in there and get Georgie off his feet. Because he was on the warpath.
It's like you can see in his eyes, he's thinking to himself, yeah, I don't know why I thought about that and actually did it and how I got this guy down to the ground. But he coached him previously and in Atlanta, because Weiss has been there for years and they had a great relationship, but he made a beeline for him. And I was just thinking, wouldn't you want to play for that guy? Would you want to play for your manager if he's tackling the opposing pitcher and the guy has over 100 pounds on him? What a moment.
I like Walt Weiss. That's for sure. Yeah, man, you always had that feeling about, you think about Coach Musselman, you think about Coach Richardson. I know with Coach Nutt, you always had the feeling Coach Nutt would jump out there if he could. Chris Vaughn was the linebacker coach that played for him, that was on the staff when I was. You always felt like give him, man, he would run out there if he could. So yeah, it's always cool.
And I've felt like that about Dave Van Horn, like given the right situation and the right. And it's like you don't see brawls in the SEC, but you've seen Dave get after the opposing coach a couple of times. I bet you he could lay out a pretty good form tackle. I saw something where John Smoltz commented that Weiss is really heavy into MMA, so the ability to lay out a form tackle on a baseball field, these two things usually don't go together.
Like your boy
don't see fights like that.
Timmy Duncan, the big fundamental, he's in some of that MMA and grappling type stuff.
Yeah, you never know who it is that you're going to come across when you get into a fight on the baseball field, I think. Forget who the pitcher was or the batter that charged the mound against Kyle Farnsworth. And Farnsworth was a black belt. I think it was either Taekwondo or a karate black belt, and he kicked his ass. Know who it is that you're running out at. There's certain pitchers that probably you just need to just leave them alone. Let them do what they're going to do. I don't know if Reynaldo Lopez is specifically that kind of guy. But again, like Walt Weiss, good for you. Would never have thought you'd have a man, because I remember seeing a coach get tackled. Well, not tackled. Pedro Martinez and Don Zimmer. Do you remember that one, Matt?
Oh, yeah, my favorite one.
That's your favorite one, yeah.
I didn't like anything about that. I hated it. First, I mean, I get it. Like Zimmer ran out at him. So what is Pedro supposed to do?
It was funny.
I mean, all he did was, to me, it was like he should have been holding out a red blanket for a bull coming at him, because that's how it looked like he dodged him.
It was a Pittsburgh minebacker, or it might have been Burfict from the Bengals. Yeah. That there was a fan that ran out on the field, and they got him. That was pretty good. What was the one with the Dodgers, and he just tackled him? Was that I think we were doing the show. It was 2 or 3 years ago. The guy ran out there, and the security guard just wham, just perfect form tackle.
And every once in a while, there is one of these baseball fights that stands out. And I can't remember all the teams that did it, but I remember one with like the Reds from a few years ago that you know how these, because they're basically just scrums that move around a baseball field. And the scrum with this Reds fight pushed
Kinda like
all
a
the way.
match,
it pushed all the way back behind home plate. And the next thing you know, they're they're like knocking down the backstop net, the foul net behind home plate. Usually it's just hold me back, grab that guy's collar and all that kind of stuff.
The Michael Barrett, A.J. Pierzynski one was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, the thing with Pierzynski is like everybody hated him. So they were going to get a chance. They were going to get a chance to do it. You know, and I guess there's only a few players in the game that, you know, folks might feel like that about. But this is more of a personal battle between these two guys who they were teammates too briefly. And I can imagine what that must have been like. And, you know, we get a couple of the texts coming in here about the Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura moment. And see, like, Ventura knew who it was that he was coming out for at that moment. He was lit at that moment. What was that? 1992. At that point, Nolan Ryan is a living legend and a Hall of Famer. While he's not in the Hall of Fame at that point, but everybody knew he was. And I'll never forget seeing, because the thing with Soler and Lopez was there was shouting going on between the two of them, and so you could see something was going to happen when Ryan threw inside on Ventura. You could see the moment, and I think Robbins talked about this, where he thought about it. It was a split second. Like, am I really charging the mound on Nolan Ryan? And he decided, yes, I'm going to. And he probably wishes he hadn't. Because that thing gets replayed over and over and over again.
Was it Kurt Schilling that threw the broken bat back at one of those?
No, that was Clemens.
That was Clemens, yeah.
That was Roger Clemens throwing a broken bat back at Mike Piazza in the World Series.
Woo!
And the two of them had something that also went to kind of I don't know if it's the same deal. I don't know what Piazza's numbers were against Clemens, but Roger would throw inside against him routinely. I think he hit him on the helmet. I think he may have given him a concussion from an HBP at some point. So there was some real, I think, dislike between those two. But that's one of the weirdest moments of all time. You just see a pitcher throw a bat, half a bat. First of all, that he fielded the bat cleanly. That's some PFP. And then threw it at the batter. That's kind of what I think when I'm seeing a pitcher throw punches with the ball. It's like, that's why this fight stands out from all of the others. Yeah, Duggan Moundhome, Dibble threw a ball at a runner. Yeah, he really did throw a ball at a runner. He was going to treat it just like old kickball.
Yeah, they should treat it like kickball. I think if they throw the ball and hit the runner, you should be out. It's a good rule.
The Bautista Lindor was funny.
Got to be neck down, though. We can't do neck up.
I'm totally kidding, but yeah.
But that was the kind of, we played kickball at recess in the day, Matt. That was a whole, like, from 4th grade through 6th grade, that was recess. We picked teams for the whole week, and absolutely, your accuracy from the neck down was a major part of being able to pass through 5th grade at that school.
We used to play wall ball where you'd have a tennis ball, and sometimes you'd have 2 tennis balls, but you had to catch it with one hand and throw it and hit the wall. And if you missed any part of it, you had to run and touch the wall. And until you touched the wall, you were live game where they could just pelt you with it. But if they did hit you in the head, then the other person had to go give them a free shot from 10 feet away. So, yeah.
With a tennis ball.
All with a tennis ball.
Try with a lacrosse ball next time. We'll be back in a quick moment. By the way, we are also going to be assigning to the unit. He is going to be listening to Parliament. You got to listen to that today, unit, because I need to talk to you about this tomorrow because I'm going to listen to it on my drive. He is listening to Parliament's album, Mothership Connection, from 1975. He's never heard anything quite like it, and it's also our halftime homework, which is always brought to you by Flyway Brewery, a great place for a weekday lunch spot in Fayetteville, also a great place to host a lunch meeting that will impress. Flyway Brewing Company has a fantastic lunch menu and plenty of space for private dining. Of course, when you think of Flyway, delicious, fresh beer, cold, crisp, and ready when the workday wraps up. Good food, fresh beer, and all the action at Flyway Brewing Company in Fayetteville on Zion Road. Make it your next stop. We're getting on the phones on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. It'll be Brett Dolan joining halftime right after this.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deal.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure, but the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good Feet, good life.
Problem Gambling Helpline.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Tether off, we gonna tether off the mother sucker. Tether off the sucker. Tether off, we gonna tether off the mother sucker. Tether off the sucker. Tether off, we gonna tether off the mother sucker. Tether off, we gonna tether off the
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend, Matt Jones.
All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And there is some Parliament, a little funky music for you guys back there. Seeing it, you're going to love it. And when I think of funkiness, I always think of Brett Dolan, who joins us right now on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brett at his funky best. Where are you doing in Missouri, Brett? What's going on there?
Yeah, well, I'm not exactly sure where I'm at, but I am bringing the funk and trying to some D2 softball, which I wasn't expecting to do today, especially when I started it in Houston at 2 flights and a few drives later. But I'm getting closer, I sense, to my destination, at least today.
Your daughter's playing D2 softball, right?
That is correct.
Well, that's exciting. Are you going to be calling a game while watching a game of this? I don't know how you even do that. Brett is as multi-talented as it comes. He'll have his daughter's softball game on. He'll be watching that. He'll call a game at the same time. You openly did it on the radio, filling in for me like a month ago, man. That is some – you must have 3 eyeballs.
Well, it was the Florida series that really got me. I think I have to cash out because we did, of course, the baseball game that was in the afternoon, and then I went and did the Florida-Arkansas softball game that night. And then my daughter had 2 games on the iPad in between, and then also – my alma mater was 7 minutes away from going to the Final Four, and that game was going on. And I think I went 0 for 5 that day, and then it almost me.
Well, good. So now you've found your limits. You've absolutely found your limits.
5.
Baseball has taken off for Alabama. I'm on the road to Alabama. No surprise for the change in the pitching rotation with Hunter Dietz getting the ball tomorrow. Cole Gibbler Saturday. Johnny Holstaff Sunday. Gackle in the bullpen. Brett, your reaction?
I guess it doesn't completely surprise us. I think we have anticipated Dave's moves a couple of times this year. I think we thought something would be up position-wise before the state series, maybe not quite to the extent the way he shuffled position players around. I think it was probably a little more obvious then that there were going to be changes in the rotation even before Gackle came on in relief on Tuesday. I think it makes sense, and I'm not above just trying something different at this time, too. And obviously, Dietz, I think, has probably been the best starter over the last couple of months. And then Gibbler has probably deserved his opportunity. And we'll see what Sunday brings. I don't know if that might be Gackle or whether he'll pitch in relief or whether it's somebody right-handed. It's Peyton Lee. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. And hopefully it works.
A manager, a head coach has so many different options in his toolkit when it comes to, how you, try to have guys in the right spot so that they can perform. Do you view this move as like the last move in the tool belt, or do you think that there can be some other changes if this doesn't lead to beginning to win series and really stopping the bleeding with the pitching staff?
Well, it's a great question, and I think it's something we've talked about or at least thought about. Maybe you've touched on it on radio. I know we have on TV, where I think you're getting a little far down the line at this time of the year. Chris Curry told us something the other day, and I thought it was interesting. He said there's nobody better than Dave when it comes to pushing buttons or getting the most out of his team. I sense this has been a challenge, unlike most of the recent seasons for Dave, because he's tried some things, and he's sacrifice defense for offense, and he's taken a guy who could be a first-round pick as a pitcher and now put him technically back in the bullpen. So I think he has tried a lot. I don't know if he's at that exasperation level. I sense that there's a little bit of compounding frustration, and I don't know if we're at the end of the rope, but I do think he's probably still moving and maneuvering and tinkering later in the year than he would like to be doing.
Yeah, these are really the years that test you as a coach, and not your ability to coach, but just, hoping that you put the right kind of team together, that when you make some changes that you have to make, that they respond accordingly. And I just think about, do you think, I guess, how would you ask the question? I'd be like, well, Dave, how easy was it for you to coach last year's team? You know what I mean? Because they did everything so well, and this year, right now, there's a lot of question marks. So, I mean, that really does... That tests your decision-making.
No, it does. I mean, I think it gets to the essence of coaching. And sometimes when I'm talking about hitters or I'm talking about my kids, I like to say when you're swinging the bat, when something's not right, you can do one of two things. You can tinker, and you can try to find what is wrong, or you can just let it play out and hope that it kind of comes back to where you hope it can be. And the worst scenario is when you tinker and then you get further away from where you want to be. And I sense it's probably similar to putting together a lineup or a pitching staff. You know these guys are talented, and you can keep kind of running it out there and hoping for different results, or you can start to tinker, and then you kind of get further away, and that might be guys playing out of position or a starter in the bullpen, a reliever in the rotation, and that's where I think Dave and his staff's experience, I still trust them to do what is right, but you always fear, and there may be a year where the more you tinker, you get further away than closer. And that's always, that's the scary part. That's the difficult part of coaching.
Brett Dolan joining us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brett, you saw the NCAA. Well, they didn't announce they're coming out with this plan. It's just sources are digging into it, and they're going to try to at least discuss this new eligibility rule, which would be 19 years old. Your clock would start at age 19, or when you graduate high school, you get 5 years, and that's it. There are no red shirts, no medical exceptions. There could be exceptions for religious reasons, for military service, but I think that's it. There would be a huge change, and I think, just off the top of my head, I think that would really affect college baseball in maybe a heavier way than some of the other sports. And it seems like it would be some step towards normalcy, I think is the right word. What do you think?
Well, I'm with you on baseball. I think maybe that would impact baseball more than anything else, because you and I see it. There's a lot of pressure after that third year to go pro, because you lose a lot of your leverage in year 4. A $200,000 signing bonus might be worth $15,000 in the same spot because you don't have that luxury of being able to go back to school, or that next year would put you at the end of your limit, and now there's one more year potentially. So, I feel like there's something that needs to come. I don't know if this would be exactly how I would lay it out, only because, there will be people playing 5 full years. I think that's too many. I think there might be a couple of valid reasons why you might need 6. I don't know how you would need 7. I don't know if all the waivers, I feel like there's too many and there's too many exceptions, and people basically do whatever they want. I guess I'm going to have to see it play out. Do you think it will have a desired effect that they want?
I do. I mean, the part of it is I think the coaches want some kind of roster stability. I still am not quite sure how you can just legislate in just one transfer and that's it. I think that'll be a difficult thing to stop. And I think when it comes to baseball, here's another way that it affects it differently from the other sports, because there's probably going to be a smaller draft in the future. Like when the owners and the Players Association come to an agreement about the next agreement, it probably coincides with a shorter draft, which means less jobs in minor league baseball. The game's already getting a little bit older. There are fewer roster spots now in college baseball, so I just think it's going to be really difficult and maybe not like freshmen to the highly touted ones, because they might be thinking about the draft too, but just kids that want to go play college baseball somewhere, whether OVC, the Sun Belt, something like that. It just feels like that could affect them too.
No, I think you're right. The one area I hope that the result comes about through all of these tweaks is that the player who's in a pretty good spot, that has a really good year, that immediately leaves because he knows he's going to get more money elsewhere. The guy who's happy where he's at but transfers because there's even more money someplace else. I know it's kind of the American way, but it feels like there's a lot of kids that are in a good position, a good program for them, that feel compelled or feel like they have to move and then throw themselves to the highest bidder. And when that happens multiple times, then I think is when it gets a little dicey, because you just can't build rosters when you put a year into a player and he's immediately gone and looking for the next payday immediately. And I hope we can kind of get a little back to normal in that regard. If there's a better opportunity, go. But this year in and year out free agency is something we don't see at the NBA or NFL or Major League Baseball level.
So speaking of the free agency in college sports, here's one that I got to get you to react to, and I just saw this myself. I want to thank Chandler and Van Buren for alerting me to this on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brett, Bonnie Dees has committed to play for the national champion UCLA Bruins. So I think Bonnie probably was the best overall player on the team this last year in terms of rebounding and scoring and probably, projecting how she could play into the future. I didn't have her go into the defending champs, Brett.
Wow. No, I mean, I was really curious, Phil. I think we all saw the raw talent, and we also know that there's more to come, refinement of the game, whether it's an Americanization of the game and taking away some of the aspects that would lead to low shooting percentages or whatever. I think we see there's aspects that were enticing, but I'm with you. I don't know if I saw that. I was curious because you're projecting on her for the future, but we know she's a good kid and a hard worker, and certainly she finds herself in a darn good spot now going forward.
DJ Wagner and Carter Knox, what type of schools do you I tend to think, Phil and I were talking off air, I think Carter Knox can play for any team in the country. He could go be a small forward for the Yukon Huskies if he wanted to. Where do you think Carter Knox and DJ Wagner end up? What type of school?
Well, I think they're different, Matt, and I would say Carter might be in a position where maybe it's just a change of scenery, but I really think for him it needs to be a school that gives him an opportunity to maximize his pro potential after next year. I think DJ would be in a spot where I think he's trying to maximize revenue. Certainly playing time, shots, and opportunities to score will be at the top of that list, and maybe that is not a top 10 or a top 15 team. But if the NBA or even playing overseas becomes a little more difficult the older he gets, he kind of needs to maximize his revenue now, and also just maybe one more go-round of quite frankly, putting up numbers. But Carter, I think for him, and maybe he talked a lot about winning championships and wanting to bring a natty back here, and maybe winning is still important for him, but I think it needs to be what helps him be a top 15 pick a year from now.
Hey, Brett, my right nipple is sore, and I blame you. You could have reached out and caught that ball when it hit off the L screen. You didn't do anything to save me, man. It could have actually taken my eyeball out.
I tried extremely hard. That thing was an absolute. I've never seen a ball hit the L screen and misdirect in that fashion the way it did. And I made a lunge. I didn't get there. I blame Nate Thompson, whomever he was talking, that nearly took it in the teeth, that ducked. And then I went after the ball, but just couldn't get to you, frankly, fast enough. But I will have it stated for the record, I laid out as best I could for that.
All right. Well, nipple abrasions aren't really very fun, so hopefully I'm healed by the time I stand next to you again next week. Yeah, right. Let's leave it there, Brett. Safe travels, happy calls, and we'll talk next week as long as you got the time. Thank you.
Bring home some wins this weekend.
Well, I'll do my part. That's Brett Dolan joining us on Halftime on the Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. Hey, we're going to remind you about, you'll always have fun at Twin Peaks and Rogers. Perfect place to catch all the big games. It's your headquarters for watching the Razorbacks or your favorite team. Twin Peaks is the ultimate sports lodge, wall-to-wall TVs. You'll find the game at every single angle, and incredibly good food, scratch-made food, ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, and a fun game day atmosphere. Burgers are stacked high and cooked to order. Their wings and brisket are smoked in-house. They feature signature cocktails, ice-cold drafts, and seasonal specials, plus a limited-time menu at Twin Peaks in Rogers. You can get a look online at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. Our Lewis Automotive Group hotline open now at 877-377-6963. Stay with us. It's the home stretch. Back in a moment.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
This is Halftime.
You're sitting at a red light or stuck in traffic, and your phone lights up. Maybe it's a text, a video call, a new post, or a quick notification you think you can check in a second. It feels harmless, but the truth is, once your eyes leave the road, you're not really driving anymore. And traffic doesn't pause just because you do. That split second of distraction can throw off everything. Your reaction time, your awareness, your ability to avoid someone else's mistake. You could damage your car, injure yourself, or hurt someone you care about. Or you could get pulled over for a reminder that your phone isn't worth the risk. So before you start driving, make it easy on yourself. Put your phone on silent. Toss it in the glove box. Set it to Do Not Disturb. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every day, Joe's Grill makes fresh from scratch salsas, queso dip, and guacamole with crispy warm chips to start your meal. Plus fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and more that will make your experience one you won't forget. Great Tex-Mex and even better service. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Oh, it's magic. It's magic. You know. Feeling on my pillow in the morning, lazy day, crazy music playing in the morning.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It's hilarious that a couple of the texts come in because we're playing. Matt's theme today for our halftime playlist is 1975. I know the song. Matt, who sings that song?
Magic.
It's Magic. Okay.
Is it Magic or is it Pilot?
Pilot's the name of the group because Magic's the name of the song. But a couple of texts come in there immediately like, that's the Ozempic song. Nobody knows the name of it. It's just the Ozempic song. Yeah, Chris says generation of kids will know this from the Ozempic jingle. And Hacker immediately identified it.
How many of you have done Ozempic or know somebody in your life that does weight loss drugs?
I don't need Ozempic because I just don't eat enough. So it's never anything that I've had to worry about. I've known a couple people that have taken this. Unit, you got any answer?
I know 0 people.
I've taken something similar.
Oh, nice, Unit.
It's just
did it work?
It's not. It's the same idea, but it's not Ozempic.
Just a different one. Were you singing the jingle in your head while you got the shot?
It worked, but once you're off of it, the habits come back.
Self-control.
I know.
Well, the halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. We were up at their Ozarks location yesterday in Harrison on Old Belfont Road. Tub to shower conversion is a popular choice for easier access, revolutionary laser etched shower walls that offer the look of tile without all the maintenance, customized grab bars, comfortable seating, shower doors and fixtures in chrome, brushed nickel, oil rub bronze, and black. You get a 5-year workmanship warranty, lifetime product warranty as well, and expert installation as little as 1 day from the folks at Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Right now, looking for 50 homes to participate in a spring into savings event. You get 50% off installation of a new tub or shower, 0% interest financing options, and a $200 gas card with bathtub or shower purchase. 1-800-NEW-BATH, 1-800-NEW-BATH, or bathmakeoverar.com.
Did you call it Tub the Shower?
Tub to shower?
Oh, I thought you said Tub the Shower, like that was his name. I was like, he'll never be on Ozempic.
Or tub thumping?
Yeah, fair enough.
That would be one. So this hits here. Bonnie Dees, one of the better, probably the best incoming freshman on the Arkansas women's basketball team, from the team that had the worst record in program history, is now one of the first transfers to announce where she is going, and it is the defending national champions. It's UCLA. There's a little to wrap your mind around with this. Like transferring to whatever other program, it is like a whatever. But to go to the national champions is very interesting. And I'm happy for Bonnie because this is a choice that she made herself. I enjoyed the moments that I had to speak with her. That girl played her absolute butt off every single game, no matter what the score was. So whatever it is that they've offered her, which must be really good because you're not going to have the kind of team they put together for the last few years and not have great money. But they've got to replace like almost the entire team. So it's going to be a lot of responsibility on her shoulders too. And as a sophomore, she's just going to get better. So, man, I feel about this 2 ways, Matt. I hate it because I thought Bonnie could be part of the foundation to resurrect Arkansas women's basketball. But I'm also not surprised that she went to the portal to begin with. You kind of heard that it might be tough to keep her during the season. And then to see her go to UCLA, man, I mean, that's exciting for Bonnie first and foremost. I wish she'd be a Razorback, but I'm excited to see what she can do over there, too.
Yeah, I'll be pulling for her. My golfer, John Rahm, is tied for 60th, so right now he's not making the cut. He's +3 through 6, so the last time I ever pick a Spaniard again.
Darn it. And how's Patrick Reed doing?
Well,
anybody shaking his hand yet? Did anybody like him?
Amber herded the bet a little bit. He's 3 under through 16, tied for 3rd, so not that bad. Scotty Scheffler's 3 under. Rory McIlroy's 4 under. A lot of usual suspects up there. Tommy Fleetwood's 2 under.
Anybody else get kicked off the golf course today? Any other what would have? So Mark Calcavecchia gets kicked off the golf course off of Augusta National yesterday. This is a major champion. What if Jack Nicklaus? You think Nicklaus allowed to do whatever he wants there?
I think you have to have a little bit of a respect for what's going on and understand where you are. It's like the whole deal. When you're kneeling for the national anthem, it's like, well, it's not your place to kneel for that. You're representing your team. You're representing other things. That if you want to individually go represent something, then you can go do it on your own time. You're not on your own time when you walk into the gates there. We understand that.
Well, it's a set of rules that that. First of all, that's the only rule I know about. Like, that's the only rule there I know. I don't know what the other rules are. That's the one. So why would, knowing that full well, that that's the rule everyone knows about, you might make sure that you don't do that.
Who's got it worse? Will Smith is suspended from the Oscars, or Mark that's suspended from the Masters?
I wonder if he's suspended for more than just the rest of this tournament. Like, didn't Will Smith get 10 years? Something like that. I forget who it was, but one of the broadcasters that made like a bad joke or some sort of off-color joke on CBS. He hasn't been back. The Gary Player, he hadn't been back to the Masters and whatever. Yet they're, got Jason Kelsey doing whatever it was he did yesterday. Got a couple of texts in also here about this transfer portal thing, and you're looking at, this confirms when a player like Bonnie goes to a program like that, it confirms you've had high-level talent come in for Arkansas women's basketball. I know Bonnie was part of Mike's last recruiting class, but she did make the decision to stay and play for Kelsey. Miriam Dowda was playing in the national championship game for South Carolina, and she started getting more minutes as the season went along. Jersey Wolfenbarg, it's a different situation. Jersey obviously was a high-end talent, but her playing time diminished as she transferred to LSU and then to Tennessee. She played fewer and fewer minutes. Miriam played more minutes as the year went on. This to me is because I don't think Kim was rebuilding, LSU 100%, and certainly Dawn wasn't rebuilding South Carolina the way that I think Coach Close is rebuilding UCLA. There's going to be quite a lot of transfers coming in there, and I think Bonnie's the first one. So. And then you're looking at where some of the other players go, because you see somebody go to UCLA, you're like, yeah, they obviously couldn't match an offer, but there are players on the team that were also probably informed this isn't working here for you. You're going to have to head somewhere else. I'm interested to see where Harmony Ware lands, because that's somebody that would show flashes. Same with Jada Bates. Will it be an SEC program? Will it be a little bit of a lower level? But to go play for the defending national champion means that you came in as a highly touted prospect. You showed something that first year, even in a really rough season. And Bonnie Dees is a very high-end basketball talent. There it was. Andy said, Gary McCord said, the greens are so fast they must have been bikini waxed. And they banned him for life for that one.
Let's just don't bleach him.
Wonder if I would never be able to broadcast the Masters. At least not in the style of this radio show. We're a little bit more PG rated for the baseball broadcasts. But yeah, and also you can tell too, it's like there's no reason for us to don't ever ask me about horse racing. I can't talk about gymnastics. Pretty sure I can't ever talk about golf, like ever about golf. So bucket list or not, I don't even know if I got a bucket for it. All right, we got to wrap halftime up here. Before we do that, I'll remind you about the Fence Man. They build a fence that stands out and stands strong. You can always get a hold of the Fence Man at 479-782-3936. The Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, high security, automatic gates as well. They'll do that for you. 18-month financing available at the Fence Man if you call 479-782-3936. Or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. We'll wrap halftime up right after this break.
You think you can dress up like me and be a rock star? No, sir. No, sir. You have no idea what it takes.
This is halftime.
Ribs. I want the ribs.
People can get pretty particular about their ribs, and at New Myers Rib Room, they can too. Do you want to join an awesome team and serve mouth-watering championship-level ribs where the best brews and tunes flow? Come to work at New Myers Rib Room in historic downtown Fort Smith at 5th and Garrison. They're hiring new staff. Apply today and be a part of Fort Smith's most vibrant dining experience.
Now I'm here to eat ribs. Lots of ribs. Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
This spring, you're organizing closets, decluttering drawers, and maybe even scrubbing places no one will ever look. But here's a thought. Why not declutter your internet too? If your shows keep buffering, your games lag, or your video calls freeze, that's digital clutter, and you don't have to live with it. Switch to Wave Rural Connect Fiber for fast, reliable internet that keeps your home running clean and clear all season long. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure, but the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive celebrating 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
I paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few. Had my
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, wrapping things up here on halftime as I'm headed back on the road to, where am I going? Tuscaloosa. That's right. It'd be a good thing if I land exactly where I'm supposed to pull in later tonight, Matt. Hey, I got to look at this. You want to think about how amazing what we're watching from Shohei Ohtani right now?
Mm-hmm.
Shohei Ohtani currently holds Major League Baseball's longest active on-base streak for a hitter. He's reached base in 43 straight games. and he also has the longest active scoreless inning streak for a pitcher at 28.2 innings. Those are two streaks that should not be going together for the same player.
Who's better for his sport? So let's just think LeBron James' first 10 years and how many finals he went to and doing it on both ends, or Shohei Ohtani. He's the LeBron James of the NBA.
That's an interesting question, Matt, because don't you feel that it was that decade? It was the 2010s that really shot the NBA past Major League Baseball as the second most popular professional sport in the United States. And LeBron has to be, the major reason why. And having a unicorn athlete like Ohtani, that's part of it. I think that's part of it. I think the rules changes for the sport has a little something to do with baseball's resurgence too. But to have somebody that is truly unique and the kind of player that we've never seen before has to be part of it.
He went to 10 NBA finals, man. That's just 07, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Yeah, LeBron was
He
just
really went to 7 straight.
Wow.
See, that's the thing, is you expect to see him there by the end of the year. And don't you feel like that about the Dodgers now?
Absolutely.
I do. I feel like that about the Dodgers.
Well, and the thing, and what I mean too, is he gives it to you on both ends, where baseball's a different sport than basketball or football. Like basketball, you have to play offense and defense. Football, you just play offense, you just play defense. And in baseball, you play the field and you hit, but you don't play the field, hit, and pitch. It's just he's the LeBron James. I mean, LeBron did everything. That's kind of how I see him. Yeah,
and especially in the day where pitchers don't ever have to worry about hitting anymore anyway. You got your designated hitter. So I just saw that from an X account, and that hit me. That really hit, because you know he's unique. You know his skill set is unique. There really hasn't been anybody like him before. But then you see that the same player has Major League Baseball's longest active on-base streak and scoreless inning streak at the same time. That's like putting Pete Rose and Oral Hershiser together in the 80s.
Well, it'd be like leading the NFL in touchdown passes and then leading the NFL in interceptions.
Right.
Like if Drew Brees was when he was doing his thing, and then all of a sudden he was playing cornerback. Yeah, exactly. Darrelle Revis. Yeah.
Oh man, never. I don't think you'll see anything like it. Really don't think you'll ever quite see anything like it again. Well, if you missed anything on Halftime, our Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast will be ready to go shortly. Thanks to the one and only C Unit. Unit, I can't wait to hear what you think of Parliament, not the Smokes. I mean the band, and yeah, the band Smokes. So take it for what it's worth.
Don't take me on a trip.
And tomorrow, let's see what we got tomorrow. We've got Aaron Torres. We'll have Neil Atkinson. We'll have James Teague. I'll be in Tuscaloosa. And hopefully things will go a little bit better for baseball this next weekend. So that's Halftime here for Thursday. Stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach and for Matt Jones. For the Unit, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening. Go have yourself a Thursday.